The world is shuckling, they say. The world is shaking. I would like to first open with a disclaimer that Chas v'Shalom, I'm not great enough, big enough to give a reason for the machla that's spreading through the world. Moshe Rabbeinu, David HaMelech, asked Hashem why, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu said that that's his secret, that the whys are very hard to understand the whys. So I'm not discussing the why tonight, but I'm discussing what we can do to change it. Even during Purim, one of the worst gezeras, or the worst gezerah against Klal Yisrael, Haman couldn't close down the shuls, and he couldn't close down the yeshivas. Lech k'nois kol Yehudim, Esther said. To stop this gezerah, we have to bring all the Jews together, not in their houses alone, but we have to bring them together to daven, to fast. And we all know that Haman walked into yeshiva, specifically elementary school, and the children were learning about Kemitza, and he realized when he saw the children of Klal Yisrael, Tinokos Rabbim, learning that it was done, it was over. Our yeshivas are closed. Our shuls are closed. Our Beis Medrashes are closed. Why? I'm not big enough to say why. But I'd like to talk about what's going to happen in Mitzvah Hashem when they reopen. How are we going to come back? How are we going to reboot this? So, I think that one of the most important things, and my Rebbe Rabbi Gamliel has been talking about this. You know that there's an organization, and the organization talks a lot about stop the talking in shul. That's something that we must do because this virus is spread by the mouth, by droplets, by words. So mida keneged mida, we have to come back to shul and we have to be so careful. No talking in shul. No Kiddush clubs. No turning your back on Hashem in the middle of Musaf or before Musaf HaTorah and walking out of shul. It's called Kavod 19. I was just thinking tonight, Kavod, give honor 19 to the 19 brachas, Shemona Esrei. Shemona Esrei is considered tefillah. Give kavod to tefillah, which means don't talk by davening. Focus on your siddur. During Shemona Esrei, you're not even allowed to learn. Listen to the brachas. Say Amen. We have to go back into our shuls once we're allowed to go back into our shuls. We have to be so careful. Hashem is going to give us another chance, and it's going to happen very fast. We have to show him that we miss him. We're not happy to daven at home, but that we miss him, and we have to take on ourselves, and we're going to come back to shul, and we're going to be so careful not to talk to anyone. And if we do that, Bezrat Hashem, I was just looking at, everyone knows about the Gezerah that the Tosfos Yontif wrote. I want to read this to you and we'll end with this. Yishaberach Aboseinu Avram Yitzchak Yaakov Moshe Aaron David Shlomo Hu Yivarach Es Kol Mi Sheshem Et Piv U'Lashaynai. A person should be careful of his mouth and his lashon. Shaloi L'Daber Be'es Tefillah Kriyas HaTorah. You're not allowed to talk by tefillah. Give kavod to the 19. U'Kriyas HaTorah by laning. Even Ben Gavra L'Gavra. What does it say? Kodesh Baruch Hu Yishmereu Mikol Tzara B'Tzukah, from any Tzara B'Tzukah, U'Mikol Nega, Corona, U'Machala, Corona. And if you look at Nega and you don't talk, the same letters, Nun Gimel Ayin, becomes Eineg. U'Machala is the gematria of 26. Becomes Yud Kei Vav Kei. We can change the whole thing. We can change the Machala, we can change the Nega. As you know, and he ends, we should all be zeicha to come back into shul to show Hashem that we're missing it so much. Hashem, I was out of shul, I couldn't even daven. Come back to shul to have achdus. The Klal Yisrael should be together, but very, very, very important. Look where the disease comes from. Know the source of the disease and know the source of how to fix it. The disease comes from the mouth. It comes from droplets when a person speaks. That's where it comes from. So let's fix it. We're being very careful not to speak. Again, I'm just saying this. If someone comes to a doctor and he has a broken arm, it's not important to the doctor how you broke your arm. That's your problem. Were you skiing? Were you playing ball? Did you fall? That's for you to figure out. That's for all of us to figure out what's wrong. The doctor's job is to take an x-ray and set that bone and get you back to better than ever. I'm not saying why we're out of shul. But what I am saying is that the medicine for it, as the Taisus Yom Tov says, the medicine for it is to stop the talking in shul. And this organization started this a long time ago, and there are people who took it very serious. Now we all have to take it serious. Chas v'shalom, ever again, till Mashiach comes, that Klal Yisrael should be taken out of their shuls. It has never happened before, and taken out. It was done by anti-Semitism. Yes, they burnt our shuls, and they kicked us out of our shuls from anti-Semitism. There's no anti-Semitism here. It's not exerted from human beings. This is Hashem. A virus is from Hashem. It's not people who hate us. So we have to look at it. It's coming from Hashem to teach us a lesson. Shh. No more talking. We're coming back, Hashem. We're rebooting. We're not talking in shul anymore. When Chas v'shalom, we're not walking out, and we're giving kavod to your 19. That's in the machla. That's what it's called. And that 19 is called tefillah. We're going to give back the tefillah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and Bezrat Hashem, in Nisan Yigal, we'll come to the ultimate tefillah, the tefillah of the Kohen Gadol in the Beis HaMikdash.